This is Wrap the News. A question concerning polygamy. Charlene Molina writes, Rap, I have an issue with trying to be brainwashed by my husband about stupid polygamy. I told him I won't listen to him unless I get clarification. Please help. This is destroying a 7-year relationship. Polygamy is destroying a 7-year relationship. This is one of those times where what your husband is saying is far better than what I have to say about the scriptures and God and rules and regulations. I say it again. What your husband is saying is a walk in the park concerning what God has to say about all of that. And so with that said is a lot of women, and a lot of men, they don't know their roles because the Gentiles, the heathen, what they did is change roles on everybody. They want to put the woman in power and empower the women, and they want to demasculate the men, which creates homosexuals. And that was the whole agenda, and breaks up the family to make what is abnormal, homosexuality, healthy, and to make what's normal, family, unhealthy and hated. And so I'm going to go 100% by the scriptures. So help me God. I'm going to say a lot of things that a lot of people is going to dislike, and that's the truth. As you see, my account got struck. Not just my account, all of my accounts got struck. The devil is after me because of the truth, because people hate the truth. This is why the prophets were slain. Because when you tell people they can't do something, they can't have something, no, it's not their way, it's the will of God, then they want to lynch you. Then they say this is coming from you and not from God. So I want everybody to keep in mind that everything I have to say is coming from God, and we prove all things. Even if you think I'm saying something rogue, we can prove it all by scripture. Now it comes to this point. Do you want to hear what God actually has to say? Or do you want to cover your ears and be blind? Do you actually listen to God now? Or do you make your own rules and regulations and own God inside of your head? This is how God is, and this is what God accepts. He accepts what I like, because that's how most people are. No, God does his own thing, and a lot of things that God do, you ain't gonna like it. Like going into captivity. Okay, let's get into it, man. So she's having an issue with trying to be brainwashed about stupid polygamy. I'm going to get this right. God's law state, first of all, says, please help, this is destroying a 7-year relationship. God's law states that no woman is allowed to divorce a man. It is a contract with God. So again, Eve cannot divorce Adam. No woman, according to any scriptures, is allowed to divorce any man. This system that we are in is illegal. The whole worldwide matrix system is illegal. So again, I'm telling you by the book, no woman can divorce a man. So God calls a woman divorcing a man treacherous. You think you're going to make into his kingdom treacherous? No. Let's go into the scriptures. Galatians 3:15, and this has everything to do about what we're talking about, and that's polygamy. Galatians 3:15, Net Bible, so you know exactly where I got it from. Brothers and sisters, I offer an example from everyday life. When a covenant has been ratified, a covenant is which you made between you and God and your husband. Right? And the husband, the wife, and God. Marriage is a covenant. It is a contract. You cannot lie to God and say, I want out of this contract. The only way God lets a man break that contract, a woman cannot break it. A man has to break the contract, and it has to be because that she is promiscuous, cheating, committing adultery, things of that nature. Then that contract has to be broken. And the reason why is that the woman then becomes unclean. The moment she is whoring around, an Israelite man cannot be with a whore. I say that again. An Israelite man cannot be with a whore. I mean, y'all might as well go get some coffee and something to drink and whatever and relax, because this is a long one. Even though it is only a human contract, says the scriptures, no one can set it aside or add anything to it. So even the Torah itself is a contract. You can't add or subtract anything from it or to it. Let's keep it moving. Jeremiah 3:20. Surely as a wife treacherously departed from her husband. See, God won't even say she divorced him. She departed. She just left. So have you dealt treacherously with me, O house of Israel, says the Lord. So it's talking about a marriage, plus it's also talking about a covenant that we made with God, the children of Israel, through Abraham. Two things at one time. Numbers 39. But every vow of a widow and of her that is divorced, wherewith they have bound their souls, shall stand against her. Every contract on the day of judgment has to be fulfilled. You signed up for that. You put your right hand up and swore by God through sickness, health, wealth, peace, and prosperity, y'all was going to stick through this. A divorce is not allowed unless the wife has become adulterous, and then she shall, according to the law, be stoned. And like, well, we're not in the days where we get stoned. Yes, you are. Because I said again, once these meteorites come down, they're going to stone the homosexual, and they're going to stone everybody God said was going to get stoned. You're not going to get away from the law, and God is not partial. If he stoned Sodom and Gomorrah, and he stoned women for adultery before, you will be stoned. Let's keep it going. Deuteronomy 24:1. When a man hath taken a wife and married her, and it comes to pass that she find no favor in his eyes, because he hath found some uncleanliness in her, then let him write a bill of divorcement, and give it in her hand, and send her out of his house. His. It's all about the man. So basically, the only way he can divorce a woman is she unclean. She's a whore. Right? Let's keep going. Because a man cannot marry, an Israelite cannot marry a whore. All these men are marrying whores, a lot of them. And they all illegal. Having children with whores, calling these whores their wives. Deuteronomy 24:3. And if the latter husband hate her, and write her a bill of divorcement, and giveth it in her hand, and sendeth her out of his house. So it's always the man writing the bill of divorce. You'll never hear the book say a woman can do this because it is illegal. She has no right. Jeremiah, so women, when you pick a man, that's the life. You try to leave, some women get killed, some women get this. That is your punishment by God for breaking your contract. Jeremiah 3:8. And I saw when for all the curse causes whereby backsliding Israel committed adultery, and I put her away. Right? He kicked you out of the land and everything else, right? For cheating, and given her a bill of divorce. Yet her treacherous sister Judah feared not, but went and played the harlot also. And so what happened to them? All into captivity. All in hell, paying for this shit, being oppressed even up to this day. We were sent to captivity to the end of time, folks. Yes. Okay, let's keep it moving. Matthew 5:31. It has been said, where? In the Torah, whosoever shall put away his wife, let him give her a writing of divorcement. It has to be the man. A woman cannot divorce a man. Illegal in the sight of the Most High God. If you can't find that, you ain't going to find that in any book. Any book. Unless somebody didn't put some bullshit in there, you ain't going to find that. Deuteronomy 22:22. If a man be found lying with a woman married to a husband, so adultery is happening now, then they shall both of them die. Both the man that lay with the woman and the woman shalt thou put away evil from Israel. So they both have to be stoned to death. So if a woman leaves, go to the government, spend her $400 or whatever it costs for a divorce, and get a divorce, it is illegal in the sight of the Most High God. She is still married, even though she feels like she's doing something right. And she go marry another man, she is committing adultery from that point on, and she is going to be put to death. She is going to be stoned when those meteorites come. She's going to get ran over by a car. She's going to be in a car accident. Something horrible is going to be an ending to her for doing it illegal in the sight of the Most High God. How many people done turned already? You know what I mean? Because you ain't going to hear what you want to hear. We're going to hear the truth. Did God give Adam a whore? So we're talking about whores right now, but we lead to polygamy. You know, we're going to start it off with whores. We're going to talk about divorce. A woman can't leave. You know, you marry a man, that's full life. Right? Did God give Adam a whore? No. Then why do you got one? Let's keep going, because I'm stepping on toes now. Genesis 2:20. And Adam gave names to all the cattle, and to the fowl of the air, and to every beast of the field, which is a Gentile. But for Adam there was not found a helpmate for him. And the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept, and he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh instead thereof, and the rib which the Lord God had taken from man made he a woman, and brought her unto the man. So she was his. She belonged to him. She can't say, no, Allah, I want to go over here and see what Satan is all about. You know, he's a handsome feller. No. She belonged to Adam. And Adam said, this is now bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of me. She was taken out of man. 1 Corinthians 11:9. Neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman was created for man, as we read in Genesis. What did that mean? You were created for him. Your whole body is genetically made up for the first man who stick it to you. I'm going to say it again. I don't care what the situation was. Usually the first man that sticks it to you is your husband. Facts. You was designed for that man. You know what you're going to do after that? Thinking you running away from that man who raped you or did this to you, you're going to keep running into him over and over and over and over again. Because you was designed for one man. Again, you weren't designed for men, women. Eve was only designed for Adam. So generations passed, Eve turned 2,000 years old, and now she sees a handsome young fella she wants. Guess what? She can't have him. She was only designed for Adam. Not so the man, though. Genesis 3:16, and unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply your sorrow and your conception. You're going to do what, women? You're going to be sad, and your conception is going to be sorrowful, painful. In sorrow shalt thou bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over you. He shall do what? Rule over you. So you was made for him, and he tells you what to do. And you obey him, or you burn. This is how it is. If you don't want to obey no man, don't get married. How men get to know women. They have a conversation with them, and they walk on the beach. They talk for about 4 years. That's how they get to know them. Let's find out. Genesis 4:17. And Cain knew his wife, and she conceived and bare Enoch. So how do a man get to know a woman? He sleep with her. The woman is called the field, the garden, the tilth, and the man go put his seed in that garden and that tilth. Genesis 4:25. And Adam knew his wife. Well, he got to know her name and everything else because he named her? No. And she bore a son and called his name Seth. He screwed her. That's how men get to know women. Now we completely know you. It ain't just no handshake and a smile and shit in the dinner. We know you by having sex with you. So we're just getting you pulled up to par before we get all the way into it. Absolutely no hoes. We don't love them hoes, right? That's what the song says, but it is the truth by the book. So basically, we know now that the only grounds for a divorce is the woman is cheating. She's being a whore. She's being unfaithful, right? Absolutely no hoes. Some men be saying, oh, I slept with her. That's my wife. No, that's the first man who slept with her. That's his wife. You are committing adultery. You need to ask her, is she sleeping around with anybody? Deuteronomy 23:17. There shall be no hoes of the daughters of Israel. So if a man is married to a woman, an Israelite man, she cannot be a whore, or else the relationship is illegal. I'll say that again. It is illegal in the Most High God's eyesight for any of us to marry a filthy woman. That's what that is. And look at this society teaching women to be filthy, to get their ass up to every Tom, Dick, and Hank to get your ass spanked, right? Whore, Bible definition, unfaithful woman, a woman having sex with more than one man. Because if you don't understand what I said a minute ago, women, you are only designed for one man. That's how God designed you. Anything else, you are corrupted doing something abominable and illegal. You may like it, but it doesn't make it right. What's right is these scriptures I'm reading to you. This truth that most of y'all probably hate and then turn the page, hoping your husband don't hear this. Leviticus 21:7. They shall not take a wife that is a whore. What is a whore again? Any woman that have sex with more than one man is a fucking whore. The question then is asked by man, how shall we find a wife then? We're going to find out. And just like I said, when you find out, ladies and gentlemen, it just gets more sickening and sickening to you because you've been taught wrong by the Matrix, the satanic system. Again, Leviticus 21:7, they shall not take a wife that is a whore or profane, Neither shall they take a woman, put away from her husband. Meaning what? If that B was married to another man, they cannot have her as a wife. Once they was married, you married to that man for life. I say it again. And see, when you ask questions, sometimes you don't want to know the answer. If you was married to a man, that is your legal husband, and a contract you and that man made between God, and you ain't breaking no contract with God. This is what God is letting you know. All these prophets, Moses and these priests, they didn't write this book. And I'm talking about, these ain't their words. These are the words of the Most High God. This is not Rap the News words. This is not the agenda of men. No, this is how God put it in play. And so now you're hearing it raw, like you ain't never heard it before. Let's keep it going. Deuteronomy 22:21. Then they shall bring out the damsel to the door of her father's house. So this is a daughter going out there committing whoredom of a priest. And the men of her city shall stone her with stones, that she die, because she have wrought folly in Israel, to play the whore in her father's house. So shalt thou put away evil from among you, Israel, by stoning every hoe. By doing what? Stoning them. Put her to death. Because once a hoe, always a what? A hoe. And this is what the book is teaching us. Right? And I'm putting this in the best way that I possibly can put it. And so, what happened to hoes? They have to die. That's what happened to them. Because no man can marry this thing once it goes out there and does that. Look at this society. These women is sleeping with multiple partners a day. Right? As many men want to come over and get some of that filth. And it is what it is, filth. Exodus 21:10, New International Version. If he marries another woman, he must not deprive the first one of her food, clothing, and marital rights. So now we're getting into polygamy, right? We're getting into polygamy right now. So what is one of the rules? There are rules. Absolutely no holes in polygamy. So if your man want to go marry another woman, we're going to highlight that. We're going back to Miss Melina. If your man marry another woman, she pretty much has to be a virgin. She cannot have had a man. Absolutely no holes, which makes it almost virtually impossible in this situation for a man to be with another woman. Almost, I said. You know, any other way, he gonna be locked up in jail. Right? So again, these are the laws of the Most High God, and it's not for men, it ain't for women, it's for both. You know, and so a man, if he is going to get another wife, she has to meet the qualifications of the Most High God. And what did God say? Absolutely no hoes. A hoe is what again? That's how we started it off. Anybody that what? Sleeps with more than one man. She is a hoe. Keep going. So the man, when he gets another woman, you can't dog out the first wife. You can't dog out the first wife. God is not having that crap. To love, to have, to hold, to cherish all the days of your life. So if you're going to be spending and giving attention to the new one, you're going to give more attention, or just about an equal attention as you possibly humanly can, to the woman you already married. Right? And it says, He must not deprive the first one of her food, clothing, and marital rights. Now I'm going to be kicking it with the second one because I'm more interested in a new piece of you know what. So anyway, first, because that's what we think the new wife is, a new piece of ass with a nice smile on the face. No. If she done slept with another man, you can't have that new piece of ass. And watch. Now I made it hard, didn't it? Yeah, in more than one way. 1 Peter 3:1. Likewise, you wives, be in subjection to your own husbands, but it is good that you know the law. Because then you can tell your husband the law. He can't make you abide by the law, and he don't abide by the law. Both people have to abide by the law, right? And that's why Matthew 7 says, don't tell your brother to get straight and you ain't straight yourself. First take the beam out of your eyes, and then you'll see fit to take the mote out of your brother's eyes. Something like that. 1 Timothy 3:11. Even so must their wives be grave, no slanderers. They must be sober. They can't be drunks. And they have to be faithful in all things. Now we got what? They must be grave, not slanderers. So they can't come in and start some shit with the other wife. Talking on the phone to their family about what's going on in the polygamy relationship. Slandering who they live with or anybody else. So they come in slandering their family. No, she ain't allowed. If you're going to be taking another wife, she can't be slandering. She can't come in with liquor in her hand or some weed. Now we getting into the law. And she has to be faithful in all things. And so women gonna be sitting there with a checklist now listening to Rap the News. It ain't that I'm messing it up for everybody. Everybody need to respect God's laws. If you saying, oh, we obeying them laws, well, obey them laws. Ezra 10, number 10. And Ezra the priest stood up and said unto them, you have transgressed and have taken strange wives to increase the trespass of Israel. You cannot marry a Gentile. Again, you can't do what? Take a drink of this. You can't marry a Gentile. You cannot marry a Gentile. So if he's trying to bring a Gentile into your home, that's a no. If he's bringing a hoe into your home, that's a no. Right? If she a slanderer, if she a drug user, she unfaithful, that's a no. She has to be chaste and not lustful to be his wife. And she has to believe. Oh God, it's getting hard up in here. Titus 2:5, to be discreet. This is a new wife. Chaste. Keepers at home. She can't be running the streets. Good. Obedient to their own husbands, that the word of God be not blasphemed. So she had to be what? Chaste and stay her ass at home. Ow. Oops. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Let's keep going. Leviticus 21:14. A widow or a divorced woman or profane or a hoe, these shall he not take. But he shall take a virgin of his own people to be wifey. He shall do what? Wifey. So that's the law right there for the Levitical priests. Where you going to find that at? That's why men couldn't wait to go to war. What happens in the war? I'm a realist, and I only want to deal with realists. Women and children get raped. That's what happened in every war. women and children get raped. Let's go through the genetic makeup of a man. If he ain't getting the women and the girls, he is getting the boys and the men. And if he ain't getting the boys and the men, watch your farm animals. Because he likes animals. He into bestiality. Or he just a plain up nutcase who needs some mental help. Okay, so again, a widow or a divorced woman or profane or a whore, these shall he not take, but he shall take a virgin of his own people to be a wife. She cannot be a Gentile. She has to be Hebrew. Let's keep going. Because I know I'm stepping on feet. Here's some more stuff that y'all ain't going to like. Because I'm getting men and women riled up, with the word of the Most High God, That's what it do, Genesis 19:8. Behold, now I have 2 daughters. Who's talking? Lot? Which have not known man. Let me, I pray you, bring them out unto you, and do ye to them as is good in your eyes. So what is Lot doing to all these homosexuals? He bringing his virgin daughters to them, right? What is he actually saying in retrospect? It is better for you to marry my daughters here instead of y'all be gay. If there's 2 rightful men in a right mind, here's my daughters. I want to help you be straight, right? But we know they had no need for the daughters, right? Deuteronomy 21:10. When thou goest forth to war against thine enemies, so we were told we can't have whores, right? And all these stipulations and stuff, right? And look what God does. And the Lord thy God hath delivered them into thine hands. Delivered who? Your wives. And thou hast taken them captive, and seest among them captives a beautiful woman. She can't be a whore. Even if you take a captive, she can't be a whore. Israel shall have no whores. And if you have desire unto her, thou wouldest her to be thy wife. Then thou shalt bring her home to your house. What if you already got a wife? Who cares? The woman can't say shit to you concerning what God already decreed. She can't say, I want a divorce. She can't get a divorce. According to what God decreed, this is why we talked about divorce. She can't get a divorce. Now you got some bald-headed woman in your house. That's strange. And she shall shave her head and pare her nails, and she shall put the raiment of her captivity from off her, and shall remain in your house, and bewail her father and her mother a full month. So she grieve over the dead father and the mother whom you killed. And after that thou have gone in unto her, after you already done screwed her, and be her husband, she shall be thy wife. So the way we get to know her is we go into her. Now we know her to be our wife. And after thou shalt go unto her, after a month, and after she shaved her head, and be her husband, and she shall be thy wife. Let's keep going. Judges 21:12. And they found among the inhabitants of Jabes Shagilit, however you say that, 400 young, they what? Young, they what? Young, hit the bell again, young virgins that had not known man by land with any male. So they ain't slept with nobody. And they what? Young. And they brought them unto the camp to Shiloh. Now why is a bunch of grown men bringing all these young virgins to camp? Y'all know I don't have to say nothing, huh? And who ordering this? The Most High God. What do you say? When you go to war against your enemies, if you see a beautiful woman and you desire her, that's yours. It's called war booty. Literally. It's yours, says God. You saw her, you liked her, that's yours. But she has to be a virgin. She can't be a whore. Israel has to put whores from among them by stoning them hoes. So we learning the rules and regulations. This they don't teach in church. You have to come to somebody like me to get it like this. And you do. And it ain't like, oh, he just think he's saying. No. He knows he's saying the truth. That had known no man by land with any male, and they brought them into the camp in Shiloh. What they do? So this is Judges. Now we're going to go to Judges 14. 21:14. And Benjamin, a.k.a. the Jamaican today, right, came again at that time, and they gave them wives which they saved alive of the women of Jabesh-Gilead, right? Same place. And who are these women? Virgins. We know they ain't, according to this society, women. They too young. Who get that? And they gave them what? They gave them wives from these young virgins. And yet so they sufficed them not. What did that mean? It wasn't enough of them. It's a bunch of men waiting for some more women. And ain't enough women. Right? So they desired more women. Numbers 31:17. Now therefore kill, this is war again, every male among the little ones. So you're killing all the little boys. And kill every woman that has no man by land with him. So you're killing all the married women in the holes, but all the women's children that have not known a man by land with him, keep alive for yourselves. What you gonna do with them? You're gonna wifey them. And you know you gotta consecrate that marriage. Oh, this is sick raptor news. It's coming from you. No, it's coming from the Most High God. Again, let's go back up to that. And the Lord thy God delivered them into your hands and your bedroom. Who did that? Most High God. Everybody looking at GMS Tahar saying, oh, the GMS is child molesters. What's God saying about this? Exactly. So anyway, keep these children alive for yourselves. Now how Muhammad look? How does Muhammad look now? Let's keep going. How did R. Kelly look? Oh my God. Like a hoe, because he was with a hoe. Isaiah 47:1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate, because somebody then kept you alive for themselves as a wifey. As a wifey. And then, let's go back up to it. Do you actually really want to know the truth? Most people don't want to know the truth. Because even me speaking the truth is what the world taught you. That's sick. These men is sick. They wrote the rules. God did not write the rules. But it happens, huh? Reality. Everywhere you go. What happened in the Congo when they armed one side and didn't arm the other? What happened in Iraq when they let all them soldiers go? Either they went for the men or the children, right? They done raped everybody. What happened to you when they took you into captivity? Guess what they did? They put the children up front, and sometimes they just let the children roam the ship, because you know what's happening. Then they put the women next so they can just go in there and lie with anyone they want to. Who was the number one person? They put the men down below, right? Away from everything and chained you up tightly. Who was the most sought after person in captivity? It was the preteen black woman. That's who they wanted the most. The preteen. Right? Rules of engagement. Anyway. Let's keep it moving, man. Let's keep it moving. Numbers 31:17. We killed every man and we kept the women alive for ourselves. Men may take on multiple wives, maidens, and concubines. Now we know the rules and regulations of it. He cannot have a whore. He can't have someone who is divorced. He cannot have a widow. Right? He has to find a woman who knows no man. Good luck with that. Especially in this society. Right? Good luck with that. He has to go by the rules and regulations. He just can't be some lousy ass pre-married whore home. Let's keep going. Men may take on multiple wives, maidens, and concubines. Why do they put maidens? Because they don't want to say girls. Because then you're going to be like Muhammad, right? It's a funny fucking thing, huh? Like God said, when you condemn and judge somebody, then you're going to be judged. Christians is finding out this about the Bible and the Torah. It ain't the book they thought it was. And they finding out something about God. He ain't the God you thought he was. And they finding out something about retribution. No one kisses your ass and you're going to pay for everything that you done did. They finding something about saving. Can't nobody save you. See? Now we getting into the truth. And so this is why I'm getting struck. I don't even want to. Let's go back up. Sister Charlene Molina. I don't even want to. And no man in his right mind want to say the things that I'm saying right now. They don't want to tell you these parts of the scriptures. Because immediately when we do that, we hate it. Immediately. I've been hated all my life, so keep on hating me. But I didn't tell you no lie. I didn't tell you no lies. I told you the truth. And most people hate the truth. Genesis 4:19. And Lamech took unto him 2 wives. The name of one was Ada, and the other was Zillah. But no God in front of it. Genesis 30:26. Give me wives and my children, for whom I have served thee, and let me go, for thou knowest my service which I have done thee. Give him what? Wives. Lamech took what? Wives. 2 Chronicles 13:21. But Abijah waxed mightily, bet he did, and married 14 wives. Judges 8:30. And Gideon had 70 sons of his body begotten, for he had many wives. 2 Chronicle 11:23. And he dealt wisely and dispersed of all his children throughout all the countries of Judah and Benjamin, unto every fenced city, and he gave them victual in abundance, and he desired many wives. Most men do. Gay men don't. They desire men. And that's why he only want one wife, because that's all he can deal with. He really want many men, and probably have them. 2 Chronicles 11:21. And Rehoboam loved Maachah, the daughter of Absalom, above all his wives and concubines. For he took 18 wives and 80 concubines, and begat 28 sons and 80 daughters. Almost 30. So what happens in the end? Isaiah 4:1. In that day 7 women will take hold of one man and say, we will eat our own food and provide our own clothes, only let us be called by your name to take away our disgrace of being what? Hoes. Because there shall be no hoes in Israel, and when the Most High God lay hold of them with the meteorites, now they're going to be clinging onto one man. It ain't going to be no thing then. Right? God does not frown on multiple wives. Disobedient women do. Right? So we're going to do a recap. Man can have as many wives and concubines as he wants, and captives. The woman that he get usually has to be virgin. Right? Knowing no man. Those are the rules of engagement and war. They must be chaste. They must be virgin. Right? They can't be previously married. Neither can they be strange wives, which means Gentiles. Heathen. They cannot be. They have to be what? Not slanderous, not grave. They have to be sober and faithful. They have to be in subjection to the man. Right? And when he takes on another wife, he has to treat his first wife good by the law. If a woman is found out to be a whore, she gets stoned. And these are the rules and regulations by the Most High God, and I wrap the news. She cannot, again, any man doing this, you foul and you're wrong. They shall not take a wife that is a whore. A whore is what? An unfaithful woman having sex with multiple partners, more than one man. For every woman there is a man, so for Eve there is Adam, she can't have any other man, according to the Most High. And when you lay down with your first man, that's your man. He becomes your husband, according to the law. There shall be no whores of the daughters of Israel. And God spoke the truth. This is Wrap the News.